Sawadee krap and good morning. I'm 11 times techno and progressive psytrance DJ and producer who's living in Thailand now for over 2 years. And today I'm going to show you my music studio, followed by a tour of this amazing condo in Bangkok where I pay less than $500 a month. And by the way, this is only one of 3 swimming pools here. So with no further ado, let's jump into the studio. Alright, let's start with the studio tour. So to enter the studio, it's quite a unique journey because you have to go inside the bathroom and then you have to squeeze in inside the studio. And the reason for that is that I have huge bass traps in front of the door, so that's the only way to enter my studio. So let's start by talking about acoustics, arguably one of the most important parts, especially in a small room like this, to get, for example, the lower frequencies under control. And therefore I decided to put as many of absorbers as possible inside the studio. Beginning with huge bass traps in the corners of the back wall. Those are like 50 centimeters thick, filled with rock wool. Followed by normal absorbers. Those are like 15 centimeters with a gap behind to increase the effectiveness, to absorb the early reflections of the speakers. Then on the front wall, I have also bass traps, but those are with a wood panel in front of it. And the reason for that is to really just keep the lower frequencies trapped while keeping the higher frequencies untouched. And I like that. First of all, it saves a lot of space. And secondly, it ensures that my room doesn't sound too dry, which I don't like. Then on the front wall, I have some more absorbers, basically as much as possible. Here, those look like diffusers, but actually they're just decoration because it was so empty over there, and I think they look cool. They don't have any real function. Then on the top, I have more absorbers to reflect the early reflections to the ceiling. And then the back wall, I have more absorbers. Here I have like 30 centimeters thick of rock wool with a small air gap behind, again to increase the effectiveness. So those are my acoustic treatments inside the studio. Again, the room is really small, and that's one of the biggest issues I have here, and therefore I had to put as many of absorption as possible inside it. And it's still not ideal, and that's why I decided to upgrade my studio with SUBWERK. SUBWERK is a room acoustic measurement software that basically detects all the resonances and bass pumps within your room, and then using an EQ to flatten out your frequency response. And that helps especially when you start mixing or mastering your songs, or if you want to ensure that the music that you produce in your room sounds similar in other environments. And I have to say I was surprised. The software works 90% of the time really good. Sometimes you have crashes and it's a little bit annoying, but most of the time it works really good. And it really helps to get a better mix. And the second measure I took was to buy the ISO acoustics pots. And those basically help to decouple the speakers from the surface, and therefore the especially low end should sound tighter with less vibrations and reflections. I have to say I was surprised. I didn't expect much from those pots, and they are fairly expensive, but they work, and that's why I kept them. Also not sponsored, but ISO acoustics, please hit me up. But yeah, they work really good. Especially in a small room like this, you should try all the options you have and see what works and what doesn't. And for me, those simply worked. Okay, enough about acoustics. Now let's start talking about gear. So let's start with the most important part of my studio, the speakers. I have the Psychedelic 8040s, and I have to say I absolutely love them. Before the Psychedelics I used to have the Vocal Alpha 65, and those are decent speakers, especially for the price point. But after I finally received the Psychedelics, I just have to say they blow me away. Like the tight low end, crystal clear mids, the great stereo field, and then this wide sweet spot you have while producing music simply makes such a difference. It makes so much fun working on listening to music and everything. And yeah, I'm really happy that I finally have them. It took quite a while to get them in Thailand because I had to import them with Thomann. But yeah, it took some while to clear them from customs and everything, but I have them, I love them, and I can highly recommend to buy them. The second most important gear of my studio is my audio interface. And after some research, I went for the Collab Plus for pre, right? Yeah, from Focusrite. What a name. And the main reason why I chose this over RME or UAD audio interfaces was that it simply had more audio in and outputs. And that made it for me future-proofed, as I realized that I love working with analog gear, so I can connect everything within my audio interface. And yeah, that was the main selling point for me. Besides that, it sounds good. I believe RME and UAD sound a little bit warmer, which I actually like more, but it's just like a taste thing, I guess. And yeah, it also comes with some stock plugins. They're helpful to make music. They have a really good mixing console. I like that a lot. But yeah, nothing too special. Again, the main reason for me was the in and outputs for a decent price. Coming up next, analog gear. So as much as I love making music, I hate searching for samples. I just hate it. It's time consuming. I'm not an organized person who can organize his samples. I tried it now for the last 4 years. I didn't do it, I don't do it, I just don't like using for samples. And therefore, at some point, I decided to go for a drum machine. And my thoughts about it were, before I start searching for the perfect hi-hat for a song, I simply create the hi-hat for the song. And that's why I went for the Electron Analog Ribbon Mark II. And yeah, I'm really proud to have one, especially in Thailand, which was not easy to find. But I bought it used for a fair price, and I have to say I absolutely love the workflow. It took some while to get used to it, but luckily there are many tutorials helping you to master the first steps. And now it's simply, yeah, it's a game changer for me. It is really fast to make like a quick hi-hat, tuning it to the right pitch of your song, and it also helped me to try out something new. For example, make a new groove, make a new pattern. Something that you wouldn't do when you're just using your mouse and click it inside Ableton. My latest upgrade for my studio is the Novation Peak, which is a polyphonic synthesizer with 8 voices. And wow, I just have to say wow. The first time I was tweaking some of the presets here, I was simply blown away how powerful and clean it sounds. Before I had the Korg Minilogue XD for my polyphonic synthesizer, which was my very first analog gear that I ever had. And yeah, it's fun to use, but I simply didn't feel the sounds that were coming out. Maybe I'm a bad sound producer, but just for my taste, I didn't like it much. Like, I just didn't like the color that was coming out of the machine. And when I heard that one of my friends is selling his Peak, I went for it. I simply had to. And I don't regret it at all. And my idea behind using the Peak is to have a unique sound that really speaks for me. Like, for example, Stefan Botzin is standing for the Moog subsequence. I want to be the guy standing for Peak Novation, because I think this device has a lot of potential, and it's so much more fun than using like normal VST presets inside your computer using your mouse. And yeah, there are some downsides using analog gear. For example, it's not that easy that you save your presets for your individual project. You always have to load them again. You cannot run multiple instances at once live. You have to record them, then you have to adjust them because there are some delays. Then you have some noise coming out of the analog gear, and there are many drawbacks. But overall, at the end, when you hear the sound, you just like, you get this, or at least I get like this emotional touch to it, and I don't regret it at all. Although it really put a big hole inside my bank account, I think it's worth it, especially now as I get more and more orders on my Fiverr account, which I recently started to make like ghost producing and helping other producers finishing their songs, or also mixing and mastering, link down in the description. And yeah, it simply helps, it's fun, and it's a unique way to produce music, I guess. And I absolutely love it. But again, it's not faster than making music with VSTs. VSTs are much faster, much more convenient. Analog gear is much more fun, and in my opinion sounds better. The last 2 gears I have is my Ableton Push 2. I think there's not much to say about. It's simply a great way to navigate and control Ableton. It's fun. It's really good also to automate stuff, especially with the new version, where it automatically detects the plugins you're using, and then it should suggest some automation parameters automatically, so you don't have to do it manually. I like that. I'm not the biggest fan of the touchpads, I prefer to use the piano, but the sequencer is also fine. It's a great add-on, I love it. And I think it's definitely worth spending the money, especially when you buy it used. And then my very last controller is the Novation Lounge Control XL. And I just bought this controller for one main purpose. Because I found a software developer, I guess, who developed a software to control Diva. One of my absolute favorite plugins. It's a really good synthesizer sound. And he basically mapped all the parameters to Diva, and then when you insert the plugin he developed, it automatically is matched to Diva. And it works surprisingly pretty good. It's cool, it's fun. I haven't used it that much yet, I have to say, since I bought my Analog Ribbon and my Peak. This went a little bit more outside, but I still want to use it because I really believe that this can be a game changer using Diva. And also the mini something from Alright, that was my tour of my music studio. I hope you liked it, I hope you could learn something, and I'm pretty sure, or I hope, that I can buy some new gear the following year. But for now, let's jump into the condo tour. And if you're still watching, thank you very much, and I promise you, you will not regret what you see inside this amazing condo here. So let's go. Alright, some days have passed, but now it's finally time to show you quickly the amenities of this amazing condo here. Right now I'm on the 45th floor of this huge building. Like, this building is really huge. And you have like this beautiful view above the whole skyline of Bangkok, which is really unbelievable. And basically the building contains of two towers. So I am Tower B, and then over there, on the other side, Tower A. And I don't know how many people are living here, but it feels like a whole town. And we also have a 7-Eleven right in front of the door, which is amazing. And now let's show you all the nice things you can do here. So first of all, you have like this amazing pool facing downtown, which is also actually this is the view I prefer even more, because it's simply so diversified, if you can say so. It's really fascinating, and I could sit here for hours and just looking at it. I believe it's absolutely amazing. And yeah, so that's the first pool. Usually that's the best pool for afternoon, because then you have some more sunlight. In the morning the water is pretty cold. And then the second pool is right on top. And then you have our small but really cool infinity pool. I mean, look at this beauty. What can I say? And then on the edge you have like this window, like this glass, and then even when you dive you can see all the skyscrapers in the city, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah, so that's the second pool. Then in total we have two gyms. The first gym, Psychedelic Cup. Is there electricity off?
No, it's off today. Until 5 o'clock.
Ah, that's why. I thought I didn't pay my bill.
I thought it's
Okay, thanks for the information. So that's the first gym. It's more like a functional training area. It's really good for stretching, warming up, and making some freeletics, what I recently started. Right now it's like freaking hot. But yeah, oh, and we have a new boxing sack. Like, the last one was broken, so good to see that we have a new one. And what I really like about this gym is that you have this amazing view. I mean, what can I say? And you know, you can hang here like a monkey, like whee, and do all that stuff. And also box. And then, we're not done yet, it's just the beginning. But I have to be a little bit fast, because I have to fly to Phuket today, as we have our yacht party tomorrow. And today one of my friends is celebrating birthday in Phuket, so I want to be there on time. Oh, here it's, at least here it's cool. So let's continue. And you can find everywhere something. Now next. You also have everything with face scan. That's just new, they just updated that. Before it was with a card, now it's face scan. Here you have like a chill out working area, I would say. Really nice. And also with this, whatever this is, art, I guess. Then you have another balcony. This is actually for, I think this is for smoking. I'm not really sure about that, maybe not. Or maybe it's not for smoking. No, it's not for smoking. But here you have another really cool view. And first of all, you see the new Twin Towers. They just opened like 5 months ago or something. Anyhow, down there we have our last pool and actually the main pool. And I'm going to show you this in a second. But first, let's jump into the main gym. Alright, Sadikap. A small look into the main gym. It's getting recently much more crowded than it used to be, but it's still really good. And you basically have everything you need. You have like a Hacksmith, I think is the name, Hack Squat machine, which I don't use because I get knee pain all the time. But besides that, you have like all of these amazing equipment here. Hello. No video? Oh, okay. No problem. Sorry. Okay, we just got kicked out of the gym. That's always a thing in Thailand, like no video anywhere. No video at the train station, no video at the MRT station, no video everywhere. Anyhow, outside should be fine. Let me show you the view garden. I think that's the name of this area here, which is really beautiful, especially in the evening, because you have the main view of Bangkok, I would say. Okay, and then the second to last stop. I think we cannot go inside, so you just have to trust my words. But it's a cinema. It's like a private cinema that you can rent, I think once or twice per month for free. Inside here, can we go inside? No, it's closed. But yeah, basically you can connect your laptop or phone and then just watch some movies if you like. It's pretty cool. And then quickly jump to the last pool. Oh, before here you have another really cool chill out area. Actually I like it a lot because it's in the shadow and you have really always like some wind coming through, so it's kind of refreshing. Then you can chill here and just watch the view. I really like it here. And now quickly, the last pool, the main pool, I also think the biggest pool. Oh, what's the name? Active pool, facing the city. Look at this. This is all you need, really. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then, oh, we have one more thing. The Pinnacle deck. This one here. Don't ask me what this is for. Really, I have absolutely no idea. I really don't know. But yeah, you get another view. You can look down the road. Oh, you even see the night market. So basically the tents over there, like every evening they're opening, and then you have like a big food market and some other stores where you can buy clothes and stuff. But besides that, I think here's not much to see. Alright, so that was the short tour of my condo. So again, I pay around $500 per month. I used to pay less during COVID, but now the landlord increased the rent, but still. So now it's 500. During COVID it was like 400. Includes internet, electricity and water. And my condo is 36 square meters big. And my bedroom is used as my studio. So basically my living area is quite small. And actually I was looking to find a bigger place. But right now wait, my gimbal. But right now the condo prices are simply skyrocketing because all the people are coming back and you really can feel the difference. So for now I have to stay here. But yeah, I won't complain. I mean, at least in Germany, for 500 euros in a big city like Stuttgart where I studied, you basically get a small room. That's it. So yeah, I'm living the dream here. Alright, that was the tour. I hope you liked it. Now it's really for me time to catch my flight to Phuket. As always, I hope you enjoyed the trip and see you on the next video. Cheers.